Mr. Kaisar Khalid is the Commissioner of Police for Railways, Mumbai, Maharashtra. He is a person who's a change maker, a motivational speaker, a poet in both Urdu and Hindi, and somebody who has always looked at giving back as a passion of life. Sir, I am grateful to you for the time that you've given us today to be with us and to spend time with our students to talk to them about it. So thank you very, very much and welcome to Lexicon Mile.
Thank you.
Virtually though. So just to start off with, I have been actually following you on LinkedIn for some time and I have been seeing the work that you do. Your journey has been very, very inspiring. Could you talk a little bit about your journey, how you started off, what all did you in a way do to get where you are today, sir?
See, if you look back on this journey, it's almost now more than 45 years since I remember. Having been born in a rural setting, a small village, there were hardly any educational facilities available there. The school that we had in our village was up to class 4, and consequently I was back to my maternal uncle's place, and there the school was up to class 7. And when I look back on my colleagues, my classmates, and all the people with whom I was studying, it seems like a dream that I could reach to this place. But the difference that I see, and I can visualize now between me and my other contemporaries, was that I always dreamt big. I had bigger dreams. My dreams were not confined to that locale, that village setting, teachers, few students, and agriculture, and at most some government job of like teaching or being, say, engineer or a doctor or something like that. So the thing that I feel that helped me in reaching where I could reach was that I never thought the situations to be given. You have to create your situations. You have to keep the boundaries expanding. I mean, I could have settled in a small job in a rural setting. Maybe we had land also. I could have gone for agriculture. I'm not saying those are bad or not preferable options, but I had different dreams. And that conviction that if you work hard and keep pursuing your dreams, probably one day you will reach what you dream of as of now. So when I look back, I feel that, this has been possible by the grace of God, of course. And there were many mentors who taught me the path and what to do and what not to do. There were many ups and downs in that journey. And I think nobody is free from those ups and downs. You are bound to commit mistakes, but you have to learn from those mistakes and then you have to rectify and always keep doing this, what you call in management as SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. I mean, that has to be done. And the most important thing in life that I felt was useful for me and came handy for me was that I kept on introspecting what I'm doing, what is my goal, am I going the right direction? When you go to sleep, just close your eyes and think of 5-10 minutes what you're doing, what you have done in a day. And I think that helps a lot to keep you on the correct path, the path that you have chosen. And that also gives you an opportunity to reflect on what you're doing and how to rectify the situation, how to overcome some difficulty, how to face challenges. And whenever I thought that I needed help from other people, from other resources, I think I never shied from asking people. I mean, if I didn't know something, I would go and ask people. If first I'll try to go and search for that in a library or somewhere. But if I couldn't get that, then I would ask कि भाई इसको क्या कहते हैं, इसमें क्या होता है, आप समझाइए मुझे. I mean, one should never be shy of asking people. So I think these things in bits and pieces have helped me to reach whatever humble things I have achieved in life.
No, sir, you're very humble, and to say that these are humble things that you achieved, from your humble beginnings to where you are today, for you to hold that humility shows the stature of a person that you are, sir, and the nice human being you are. So you mentioned about obstacles. Are there any obstacles that, in specific that come to your mind that you want to share, and how did you overcome them?
A lot of obstacles. First and foremost is to dream itself is a big obstacle. I mean, how could you break those barriers? I mean, people were comfortable. You see, for example, I'll give you an example. When we were in +2, what you call as 11th and 12th.
Right.
Now, by that time, you have to, by and large, most of the people, they fix upon one goal. Either they will go in engineering or they will go in medical, by and large. And imagine 1989 Bihar, or that for that matter, even India. If you are not among one of those two categories, people would consider you as worthless. ये qualify नहीं कर पाए भाई. He is not good enough to be either in engineering or medical stream. And associated streams, engineering means architecture and other things, and medical would mean agriculture or pharmacy and other things. Now imagine at that point of time, I switched from science to humanities. I went for geography as my graduation. That was a one. I mean, people would ask, "You science समझ में नहीं आया क्या? I mean, medical में आपका नहीं हुआ क्या? क्या हुआ? बहुत tough लग रहा है." And all that, and at that point of time, इसको बावला कहते हैं बिहार में, पागल. I could go from science to humanities. Science is always a more secure discipline, and I was educated in a college called Science College Patna, which was the best college at that point of time, and only the best you could come there. I mean, you can imagine that out of 20 of us who were in that hostel, Ramanujan Hostel of Science College Patna, 17 had gone either in medical or engineering. We were only 3 who were left behind. So, I mean, people would be feeling sympathy for us and kind of, encouraging कि अच्छा नहीं कर पाए, थोड़ा कमजोर student होंगे and all that. And that was a big challenge. That is one. Secondly, not only that, then so many other things. There is something called defined boundaries of thinking, of behavior, of mannerism, of the way you dress up, the way you eat, the way you speak, the way you study. A person like me was stupid enough to challenge many of these things. And I would say, क्यों ऐसा ही क्यों? When you ask these questions, these are very uncomfortable questions to the traditional narrative, whatever has been built there. And you face then consequences, and then sometimes you are outcast, sometimes you are considered to be too, it's an obstacle actually, and not conforming and not being a good, team player and not going with the stream, with the flow. But I never was a person who could go with the flow. I mean, I would always want to understand why something happens at all. And I would always think that it is my life. Let me decide. Let me define it. And there are many things like, I'll quote an example. When your session is over, and from Science College Patna, I went to Patna College Patna for this humanities thing, geography. So in the interim, I was staying in a lodge, those private housing things where 2 of you share one room. So one of my relatives was my roommate, and his father was the member of parliament at that point of time. He's my relative only. So there, some people had this habit of, in the afternoon, they would form a group of 4 or 5, and they will keep visiting people from one room to other, one lodge to other. They will go and sit with them for 15, 20 odd minutes, chit chat, and then move on. And now they came to my room also. So, I was I was studying at that point of time, and I was reading. So, salam kalam, that happened. Exchange of pleasantries, and then I just continued my studies. So they would look at you for some time, thinking that you will offer something and you will start that chit chat. But then they went to my roommate. He was also studying something, and we two being little sincere people, we did not entertain these people. So they went away. After say half an hour or so, then this group comes back and goes to my roommate and saying कि अरे सब माफ कीजिएगा, मैंने आपको पहचाना नहीं कि आप MP साहब के बेटे हैं. You are the son of the MP, member of parliament. I couldn't recognize you. So he chatted with them for 5-10 minutes, and they went away. But that gave me a food for thought. Now I started reflecting, what is the identity of the person himself or herself? minus that father's identity, what is the identity of this person? What identity he has been able to create for himself? So, and realize at that point of time that unless you create your own identity, good, bad, ugly, whatever it may be, you are really nothing. Bereft of the identity of your family or your parents or whatever ascriptive value you have at that point of time. If you are unable to make anything for yourself, then it is useless. And that was what, in 1990 or 1989, 90. So that taught me a big lesson in life, that you have to create your own identity. You should be known by your name. You should not be known by the name of your father or mother or family. If they are known by your name, fine. But you at least should be known by your own name. Now that's a very difficult thing to do actually. वो तो जोश में मैंने सोच लिया. But you know to create your own identity. How you create your own identity? That means you should have certain attributes. You should have certain successes. You should have certain amount of knowledge. Due to which people will say कि हाँ भाई this student is like this, इसको knowledge है, ये जानता है, ये आपको पढ़ा सकता है. आप उसके पास क्वेश्चन लेके जाओगे तो he'll be able to tell you the answer, and so many other things. And then habits that you form. I always had a habit of going for a walk in the morning or run, something like that. And then I have certain prescribed routine. I mean, पढ़ना है इतना देर तक, आराम करना है, यही टाइम है जिसमें इंटरेक्शन वगैरह करना है, and then जरा किताब पे ध्यान देना है and all that. So that helped me, but it was a very difficult kind of life that I had. और अब मैं जब सोचता हूँ, when I look back, then we all pay the price of our choices that we make. And that was the, what do you say, insight that whatever choice you will make in life, whatever. See, that is the time when you study also, when you fall in love also, then you like to go, people want to become a movie star, and then, people want to have people around them, bhai, that kind of thing, and some kind of social prestige and all that thing. Everything has a price. And we don't realize at that point of time. But sooner or later, maybe 5-10 years down the line, then you will realize that if you would have paid that price at that point of time, probably things would have been different. So it's for all of us to actually take a call.
Like you mentioned, sir, when I was small, I did my aircraft maintenance engineering, or I wanted to do hoteliering. So I actually joined aircraft maintenance engineering, finished it, and then started hotels. So to the extent, a lot of my friends laughed at me. There you're getting a salary of 80,000-90,000. Now you're going to do hotel management, and my starting salary was 4,000 rupees. But it gave me happiness. So you're so apt out there. You have to make the choices, and every choice has a price. And thank you so much for sharing, sir. Sir, when I read what you post, and I look at the work that you do. There have been some beautiful initiatives that you've done, in like the open fridge concept, educating people, spending time with children, mentoring them, talking to different organizations. Where does this passion of giving back come from, sir?
You see, I sincerely believe that, as I told you, my journey, others may call it as a dream kind of thing, the background. I mean, we were from a zamindar family, big agricultural land, but money was not important, and it was a different kind of society, quite an egalitarian kind of society. And but what was our life? When I see where my relatives are located, they are located in a radius of 10-15 kilometers. We never got married beyond that, because you are unable to cover on a bullock cart. You cannot go beyond 15-20 kilometers. So all our things are limited to that vision. I myself remember when I was first time I went out of my district, not district, at that point of time it was a subdivision, Araria. That was when I went to a different town, 35 kilometers away, for my matriculation exam. And prior to that, I had visited a town called Purnia, which was our district headquarters at that point of time, only for the sake of writing my scholarship exam. So imagine that what kind of limitation we had on ourselves, on life. And if that is the limitation, then how do you break free from those limitations? At that point in time, could you ever think that I might go to London, or I might go to Australia or somewhere, or US? I mean, it was unimaginable. the max that we people thought कि वो जी मक्का मदीना जी वो हज करने के लिए. So it was like this. I have to break those boundaries. I have to dream big. And secondly, and most importantly, I have to pursue my passions. I should do and opt for a work or job or profession which I love doing. Like as you mentioned, you did aircraft maintenance engineering, and then you went to hotel management. People would come and ask you, एक सीट क्यों बर्बाद किया? You know, और नहीं चल रहा था क्या? समझ में नहीं आया, and all that. But they don't understand that there are certain things which are compulsions. You have to secure yourself first. I mean, when I'm speaking of engineering and medical as being the only viable options at +2 level, it is to secure yourself. Because if you go to arts field or humanities field, it is wide open, and we do not know whether you will succeed or you will not succeed. So that is something which is a big question. And then people will ask, science पढ़ के क्यों छोड़ा है? And imagine I was in top 20 kind of thing in Bihar merit. So it was not that I was a dabbu student or I was a bad student. I was pretty sincere and you know. And then I was living in the hostel in Science College Patna, which consisted of the best brains in Science College Patna. So 100 odd top would get the hostel, 5-6 hostels, around 20 odd each hostel, 20-30 odd. So it's like this, and I was topper in my hostel also in terms of marks. So what happens ki, given these circumstances, I should have gone for a security. But then I thought ki, and I would sincerely think that कि यार इतना पैसा तो मैं कभी भी कमा लूँगा. You know, I need to pursue my dreams. You may fail, you may not succeed, but you will never have that regret of not pursuing it. So I think person like me, जिसको थोड़ा सा खिसका हुआ समझेंगे, it's like this that I must pursue my dreams. And then when I'm standing here and I look back, as I mentioned, my colleagues, people who were studying with me and my friends at that point of time, they could not reach here. So don't I have a responsibility to do something for those people who are not as fortunate as me? I could get a lot of mentoring. I could get a lot of support. I could get a lot of scholarships. I could come into a big institution, a very good institution. I had very good colleagues who taught me. I could come to this place by grace of God. But there are n number of people who are having that potential, but they are unable to do it. So what do? That means that you should become much more humble than from what you started from. And then you should try to pull these people. And I think the life is worth living if you are able to create 100, 200 odd people like you or better than you. Otherwise, animals also live. No? See, a lion in Africa, he rules over the area where he roams. But what happens? What is the thing that he gives back? Nothing. We as human beings must have an identity. And that identity is that we must, when we close our eyes, finally think that oh God, I could do something. Could not do everything, but I could do something out of the potential that you had given to me. And you should not be unhappy at that point of time. And it is everywhere. Suppose you are looking after a child, you are working somewhere. When you leave that place or quit that job, then you look back and reflect. Then are you happy that whatever I could do, I tried to do my best? If you are able to do that, then I think it is worth. And if you have not done, then I think it is an animal life that you have lived. We drink, we eat, we enjoy, we procreate, we have everything, the best for ourselves. But if my brother is hungry, if he is unable to pay a fee of his kids, if he is unable to do, like now in this COVID situation, treat. So what do? I mean, I feel ashamed of myself that I'm not able to help people in terms of hospitalization, in terms of providing medicine, in terms of other facilities. So what we could do? I mean, the least that we could do. Then we realized that we could provide oxygen. So we started an oxygen bank in Mumbai, and we are providing free oxygen. ये कोई एहसान किसी पे हम लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं. It is just that it is our duty at this point of time. And I think as a human being, I must bring those qualities which define a human being. That is empathy, that is compassion, that is helping people in need, and it doesn't require much money or energy. If you have that positive thinking, positivity will attract other positive people.
Correct.
And then you will become a group. and it is easy to discharge responsibilities. I mean, people think it is very difficult. I don't think it is difficult, and I am always thankful to my Creator who gave me this opportunity to serve people. So that is the kind of thing that we do.
No, I think that's so well said, sir. You know, our vice chairman and executive director, Neeraj sir, a lot of time when we speak, one of the things he says many a time, sir, that, you know, if we can make a difference in one student's life, one person's life, that means you've lived your life. And it is so important, sir, because if you don't do these things, you're right, you're not living a human life, you're living a animal life. So, you know, you're a poet, both Urdu and Hindi, sir. अगर आपको what you just said, अगर आपको एक, if you were to say this in one shayar or one poem, what would that be, sir?
One couplet which I often remember, but I'll read two
Right.
because for the sake of continuity.
Right.
It goes like this, Urdu. के छुप के सीने में एक आग सी तो रहे, छुप के सीने में एक आग सी तो रहे, शहरे जामे, in the city of your heart, शहरे जामे कहीं रोशनी तो रहे, शहरे जामे कहीं रोशनी तो रहे, और यह है दौरे हवस, age of greed, age of desires, यह है दौरे हवस, लेकिन ऐसा भी क्या, यह है दौरे हवस, लेकिन ऐसा भी क्या, आदमी कम से कम आदमी तो रहे. So that is my motto, कि आदमी कम से कम आदमी तो रहे.
Very well. So, today, you know, success has a lot of definitions, and people are following success, and that's all that is there in their tunnel vision to some extent, sir. How would you define success?
Success, I think, is all about contentment that you have, how you have been able to, and I told you now, when I go to, in Mumbai, you are a big money class people, aristocrats. I often go to these people. In fact, if you see, there is a video of me speaking for the under trials who could not secure bail because they do not have money. So there also I have spoken that success is that I create 100, 200 odd people like me or better than me. That I define as success. I create a big house for myself, a mansion, I have private jet, I have a fleet of luxury cars. That is not the success. Of course, you have succeeded, you have certain rights, you enjoy certain privileges. But if I am unable to pull people out of misery, out of poverty, out of ill education, out of the crisis of existence that they have, unless we do it, I don't think it is success. And if you see the examples of people, you go to US, look at the donations that billionaires are making. Facebook inventor, Mark Zuckerberg, or for that matter, any other person, or here Azim Premji Saab. I think that is success. Success is not accumulating everything for yourself. Success is including people in your success and let them feel that, let them achieve that. That I think is success for me. I mean, you should do your good for yourself because you have certain responsibilities towards your family, towards your friends. But beyond that, there's a responsibility for the society. And I think unless you are able to make people happy, I define my job as wiping out tears and bringing a smile on the face of people who come to meet me, people who are aggrieved, people who have been wronged, people who have been harmed. You know, they come to police station, they come to us. But if I'm able to minimize their pain, reduce that tension, that stress, that problem that they are having and feeling, then I think it is worth. Otherwise, I solve cases, I arrest people. That doesn't give me much pleasure. The pleasure is when I'm able to bring happiness on the face of somebody who had lost hope. Then I think you have achieved the real and true success. Money does not define success. Your house, your position, they do not define your success. Your own instinct of helping out people, serving the society, I think that defines your success. And to be in a position to do that, you must achieve personal success. Unless you have resources, you will not be able to invest them. Unless you are in a position, people will generally not listen to you. Unless you have power, you will not be able to change things. To do that, ultimate thing, you need to achieve these things. And there comes your personal success in the eyes of other people. I mean, they would say, "Ye commissioner ho gaye." I know they think I'm big. I'm the same person. But as a commissioner of police, I'm able to do many, many more things than I would have been able to do had I not been here. So it's all about that. This is facilitation of the people, and I think we must start thinking on those lines. Here in India, we really need this change in thought process.
And thank you, sir. आपने जो बोला, from that, I remember my late father saying, he used to tell me, beta, if you want to define success for yourself, जब तेरा आखिरी your last journey is there, आप कंधों पे जा रहे हो और खुद पाँव पे नहीं जा रहे हो, अगर जो इंसान आपको देख रहा है जाते हुए, if a few, even one or two of them say ना कि he was a good human being, that means you've lived a good life. आपने अपनी जिंदगी अच्छे से जी है. So, and that's so important. And that word that you said, sir, including other people in your success, and how your personal success is so important, because if you are not successful personally, you cannot make a change. Because if you don't have the resources, you may want to do it, but you cannot do it. I think so well said, sir. So, it's tough times just now. We've got COVID-19 happening. We've got the economy hurting. The students are obviously not able to come to colleges at this moment of time. What would be, your message before we move into taking questions from them? What would be your message to them, sir, in terms of what should they look at? What should they do?
I have two daughters who are college going kind of people. The elder one is in the final year of graduation, and the younger one is 11th. Now I see their misery also, and I'm really sad for these people. See, when you go to a college or a school, you have a vibrant society, you have a vibrant company. You go and enjoy not only the education, but also the company of the people. Yeah. Unfortunately, for last year and a half, that is lost. People are unable to do. My daughter has not been able to go to her school. When I took her for exam, for admission, that was the last time she went there. And then it is online. Very difficult time, because one, we are not used to screen time. 6, 7, 8 hours, 10 hours of screen time is simply unacceptable. But there's no way out. So we have to have that fortitude to bear, because this will not always be the case. This too shall change. So a person like me is an eternally hopeful person. Hopelessly hopeful. I would define myself that way. I'm always kind of romantic person who thinks future will be better. So one, they must have that fortitude to bear. Secondly, it is very difficult for them, because they have a lot of energy and they want to spend that energy. And especially this is the time when they have their friends, they have their colleagues, they want to interact with them, sit with them, jiggle with them, play with them. Everything is lost. And Mumbai, we are not even permitted to go and walk. The other day I had gone out, then I was stopped at 3 points. Where are you going? Then I had to say, Major, that constable, then he was magnanimous and so difficult time. So, but this is also time when you actually connect with your family, because now it is a family together, forcefully only, but we are together under one roof. We are spending a lot of time together. So we need to speak to these people, and it is not only speaking; it is communicating. When you start sharing, and especially what happens from teenager onward, many of us do not share a lot of things with our parents and with our family members. I think this is the time. This is also a reminder for us, because in any misery, these are the people who will be around, like they are right now. So we should start sharing with them, and our worst fears also. Nothing wrong with that. Yesterday only, my elder daughter fought with some of other people in a club on certain issues. One journalist has passed away, and they were all discussing what he did to the society and all that. So, and then she went for a walk for 2 hours. And then she came, then we had a discussion, we had a talk, how to put our disagreement properly. So we'll have disagreements, but we have to put it properly. And also, because this is a time that we have to keep ourselves healthy to have a higher level of immunity. So we must do some kind of exercise. If you love dance, please do it. If you love aerobatics, do aerobics. If you want yoga, do yoga. Whatever. If you want to walk or run, whatever little space is available, please make good use of that, because I don't want people to put on fat and minimize their immunity. These are really difficult times, and we do not know whether the third wave will be coming or not. So we should be prepared for that. So also, we need a lot of stress busters here. So crack jokes, read something good, read together, share things that lessens the stress, because our children are in a lot of students are under a lot of stress because they were
Right.
the most outgoing people and now they have been confined. So you have to share. Now you have to somehow try to reduce that thing. And also, you have a lot of creative pursuits. If you can play, paint, you paint. You want to sing, you sing. You want to dance, you want to paint. Whatever talent you have, I mean, you have to find a way out to do it indoors. So this is what we need to do, and we have to be hopeful, because this situation is really, really bad, especially those who are under lockdown. So it is difficult for them to even come out of their houses. And at many places we have small houses, and we have
Correct.
many people in the house. So we need to find a way out to vent out our anger, our frustration, our despair, without harming others. So I think we have to find out the thing. Listen to music, listen to something soothing. You want to cook, do cooking. You want to, whatever. You have to find some hobby. Without hobby, I think it is difficult to endure this under 6 months or so. And those who are eligible, please register on COVID and get vaccinated. I mean,
Absolutely. So this is,
I don't want to lose or see anybody coming to trouble. And every day, let me share you. I'm getting a lot of depressing news when I open Facebook there, other social media, and our own officers group. Desperation for help. Oxygen nahi hai, medicine nahi hai, bed nahi hai. I mean, it is very difficult to be positive in these circumstances. Let me confess, we are also human beings. We get affected by death or misery in our family, friends, and in society in general. And when you see all those pictures and read all those newspapers, it is pretty depressing. But then, within this depression, we have to rise. We have to be like Phoenix.
so in fact, my wife and I were just talking last evening, and we have a 8-year-old son, and we were saying that if Ayan was not there with us, we wouldn't know what would happen in this whole last year and a half, how life would have been. Our family is such an important piece in our life. In fact, one of the things I always tell my students, tell my family, my friends, I say, listen, if you get one negative thought coming in your mind, try and flood your mind with 4 positive thoughts. And if there is something that is bothering you, find somebody to talk to. Find somebody who you trust. Talk to them, because by talking you'll make your heart lighter. And I'm so grateful that you've taken the time to talk to us. So we'll see if there are any questions that are there. We'll try and answer them. I'll just we'll wait for the people to just type in any questions that are there
Sure.
on the thing.
So by the time people start typing, I must thank all those people who have written such good things about this show and about this Garib Admi who's sitting in front of you. So I'm thankful to them, and really, really, I mean,
No, sir,
I would.
it's your greatness that and your humility where you say that, because sir, जो दिल से बड़ा होता है वो हमेशा अमीर रहता है, सर. तो आपकी सोच अमीर है. You're rich at thought process, and that makes a difference.
Nothing है, अपना कुछ नहीं है उसमें. I never think.
Yeah, I mean I was telling this to somebody today earlier, sir, कि इंसान जरिया है, बाकी ऊपर वाला define करता है. So there is one of our students, Pratik, and in fact he had done some fantastic work last year during the COVID times for the poor. He's asked, sir, if you suppose you're in a family problem and simultaneously at your workplace you're leading a team, so your behavior might affect on your juniors. How do you manage this?
You see, this is a very difficult thing for most of us to do because you have to develop a habit of switch on and switch off. Like for me, as an officer, I never brought my office work back home, and I never discussed my office at home. If some of you are exposed to officers' wives, there are a lot of gossips that circulate around, because many of these officers, they bring everything, the whole baggage back home, and they will say, "Kisne aisa kiya, usne waisa kiya." So I kept my office back at my office, and when I came back home, I was that home wala person. So we have to develop this habit. if you are stressed out because of certain thing back home, it is likely to affect you as a person. But then we have to cultivate this habit of getting unaffected, and you have to distance yourself from emotion. The issue will be there. We have to address the issue. If I get emotionally involved in the issue, I will not be able to be rational and just. So I have to look and analyze the thing in a rational manner. For that, I must put myself at a distance and see from a distance as a non-partisan person. And then only I'll be able to do justice with my office job or any job that I may do. I mean, there are many people who fight with their wives and they go to office and then they just burst there. And whoever junior is coming in front of them, they bear the brunt of
God
that.
bless
And
you.
डर लगता है लड़के आए हैं. So you have to develop this habit. It is not impossible. It is difficult, but it is not impossible. We must switch on when we go to office in that office mode, and when we come back home in the home mode. So it's like this. One. Secondly, what I did is a lot of stressful situations keep coming. I keep listening to a lot of discourses, good people's speeches, a lot of how to control your mind, how to condition your mind. And those who are interested in religion, they should read some good literature in religion. A lot of books are available, or speeches are available of good people, sensible people. Here again, sensible people, not the people who inflame. The people who speak with logic, who speak with reason, and then listen to them. Then you will develop this habit of analyzing the things dispassionately. And if you are able to bring this thing, to a large extent, that problem will be sorted out. And if you are unable to do that, just go into a little bit of silence for some time. Just shut yourself off. Just close your eyes, reflect. What is happening? Why this is happening? What can I do the best to sort this thing out as of now? And how can I dissociate myself from this situation? How? And also, we commit mistakes. We shout. We become angry. I mean, now the time has come when the kids tell Papa is Jacob, tum galat ho. So keep your ego aside, think what she or he is saying, and reflect on, is there any logic to that? What is the reason? What is the basis of that argument? And if it is correct, and we must apologize to that child. I have done that, and I have learned a lot from my kids. So nothing, no harm in accepting that. Okay, you can learn from anybody, including your own child, including your own juniors, your colleagues, and all that. So we are never perfect. What we can do is to make ourselves better. And especially in a stressful circumstance, we must realize what is giving us stress. What is the reason for that? How best I can address that issue, and how best I can remain unaffected by that. If you keep on doing that thing, I think over a period of time, you will develop this habit of dissociating yourself from the emotional part and focusing on the rational part, doable part.
Thank you, sir. And I think that's so important. So one question is there, so what is your suggestion for senior citizens?
And after some time, I'll also be a senior citizen only. See, no suggestion, only requests. Their life is much more difficult than our own. One, we still have a lot of things to do, a lot of dreams still unachieved and yet to be achieved. By and large, senior citizen, I take as 60 and plus people, they have already played one inning of their life. They might have retired and all that, and their health also may not be as good as ours is. So with senior citizens, we must be very compassionate. Sorry. This is cute. बच्चों की बिल्ली है ये. So with senior citizen, we must be very considerate. Many of them want to walk, want to go to a park. So whatever is available, possible to do, we must do that, and we must help them beat this kind of thing. Please remember, they are at the maximum risk in this corona time. So we must keep their spirits high, and spirit high is possible only when we try to bring happiness in their life. And how we bring happiness in their life? One, they have certain hobbies. So let us ensure that hobby is there. They read newspaper. So let's ensure the newspaper is there. If they are unable to read newspaper, then a lot of online options are available, which they may not be knowing. So we have to make them available, or say for example on an iPad, on a computer, on a mobile, how can they read things? And also for senior citizens, we should may bring some books, may bring some good stuff on YouTube or something. We have to help them tide over this situation.
Correct.
So their life is much more stressful as of now, because one, they depend on their friends a lot who are not available. They are unable to go out on a walk, and they are at higher risk. So we must help them.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you, sir. So Rashi is asking, and she's one of our extremely bright students that is there, and who's seen hardship herself at close quarters. So she's asking, sir, we recently heard about Superwoman, a great initiative by the Mumbai Railway Police, which was started for 1 week. Can you please tell us about the motivation behind this and the changes you've seen after this?
Well, every year all organizations celebrate this World Women's Day, which is on 8th of March. So when this proposal came before us, how do we celebrate? So one is the lip service and notional things that you do. You'll organize a function and then some goody speeches and all that. That does not really bring any change in them. So what do you do? So what we did, that we spread it over a week's time. And we brought a lot of things in that. One, their own talents. The talent that their kids have. Their own, how do they manage their life? For women, you won't find many sessions on their financial literacy. So we organize a session with experts on financial literacy. How do you manage your finances? Then, of course, on beauty and skin, that is very important. Then how you dress up, how you presentability. Then on paintings, on writing of essays. Then some dance classes also we organize, in addition to other traditions, mehndi, vagara, and all those things. But all in all, what happened? The prizes that we kept, we brought in a bank as a sponsor. We said, look, whoever is getting first prize, give him a tab. This tab will not only be a prize, this will also be an educational instrument, a tool, because this online thing going on. Most of the kids are actually reading on mobile. Very got small screen space. So we brought a tab like this. You see, this is a tab like this. This was the first prize. In the second prize, again, some educational thing. So not only that they should understand challenges in their life, about their health, about their own fitness, about the way they manage their life, their finances, the way their kids shape up, but also a constant improvement in the educational thing. And beyond that, we are actually creating an e-library. We already constructed a hall, which I'm proposing that we will have workstation-like kind of facility, where we will give either a tab or that Kindle, and we will have lots of e-book purchase, and we'll have a big screen where we can tie up with, say, other coaching institutions like Baiju and other things, and then people can actually go and sit and actually read and study there. Then a computer and a printer for their own resources and all those things. It will be an air-conditioned hall, maybe having 40-80 sitting capacity of 80 people odd. So what will happen, that not only that this Women's Week, but from there we are going to this thing. And now I have negotiated with a bank which will be giving scholarships for their technical education free of cost. So 8 odd scholarships will be there for engineering, medical, and other courses if they go foreign and all those things. So that is the kind of tie-up that I am trying to bring. If you have seen my recent thing, we got 60 lakh rupees from a bank to upgrade our hospital facilities. So it's like this. It is not one step, but it is a series of steps which will overall improve the milieu in which they are existing, their capability to educate themselves, the capability to keep themselves healthy and happy. So it is kind of thing. If you sometime, I'll be announcing, in CSR fund, we have got around 10 crores from one petroleum companies, BPCL, where we are going to bring world-class tracks and field for sports. So not only is that they will be having education and hospital, they will also be having field, a cricket field, a football field, a hockey field, a running track, 8 lane, whatever internationally is there available. So that is the kind of thing that we will be bringing. Also some tough wicket for cricket, and then illuminated thing for night kind of play. So it is overall package that we are working at. So maybe once these projects are completed, so these people will have a one-class facility available in their own campus. And remember what I told first, when I go away and look back, I should have that sense of satisfaction. Yeah, I could try and I could succeed in some of these things. I could make class and quality of people little better than what I got, what I inherited. So it is not important what you inherit, what is important, what you leave behind.
So true, sir. Hats off to you. Virtual hats off to you on that, sir. So I was surprised that this question did not come till now, but we've got somebody now asking it. Good evening, sir. Please guide us for some tips for IPS.
Well, if you want to have a difficult life as is mine, then welcome to this thing. IPS, for that matter, any of the civil services, around 20-25 odd services which we have, including Indian Embassy Service, Indian Foreign Service, Revenue Service, Customs and Central Excise Service, then a lot of services in railway, lots of services in audit, and then a lot of other Government of India services. They have one common exam, which is called Union Public Service Commission Civil Services Exam. Now that exam consists of 3 phases. One is the preliminary phase, which is an aptitude test consisting of 2 papers. If you qualify that aptitude test, then you appear in a written exam, which is called the mains or written test, which is consisting of 1 optional, the general studies, essay writing, and qualifying papers in English. That is the exam for the civil services mains. If you qualify the mains, then you are called for interview. And interview is now 250 marks. In our time, it was 300 odd marks. So based upon the marks that you get in the written exam, in the interview, your All India merit list will be prepared. And you will be allotted a service depending upon your position and also the preference that you would have given while filling up the form of the mains exam. Now, what is the proportion of people selected at different stages? From the aptitude test to the mains, it is 1:10 by and large. So we have 1,000 seats in a year, for example. Then 10,000 people will be selected or will be invited to write the mains or written exam. From written, 1:2 ratio, in a 1:2 ratio, people will be selected for interview. Suppose we have 1,000 vacancies, then 2,000 people will be called for interview. So this is the general sequencing of the things. The aptitude test will be somewhere in the month of May. The written test will be in the month of October, November, generally November, and the interviews will be in the month of April, May, and in the May, the final result will come. Now, it is not one-time exam. As you have seen, it takes around a year at least for the exam to finish, for the final result to come. So civil services is not an exam of your intelligence only. You should have a reasonable level of intelligence. I'm not asking that you should be brilliant. You should have a reasonable level of intelligence. What is a reasonable level of intelligence? That means that whatever you are reading, you should be able to understand that. One. Secondly, as far as the optional paper is concerned, the proclaimed level is of graduation. I mean, what they say कि हम graduation के level का question देंगे, but by and large it is post graduation level test. Why I'm telling you post graduation level test? Because it is not how better you are performing the exam, it is also about how better you perform compared to others. It is called first past the post. You see, Olympic, say for example 100-meter running, the 8 athletes who will be running in the final 100 meters are the best from their countries, and globally the 8 best, but only 3 will get prize. 4th will not get a prize, even though he may be 1 by 100 second behind. So if there are 1,000 seats, the person who is coming on 1,000 first spot will not be getting a job. So it is not only that you perform well, you also perform better than others. So it is kind of peer marking, peer comparison. So for civil services, you should have consistency. Consistency means you should be in a position to do hard work over a sustained period of time, maybe 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years. Because you start building up for civil services by the time you come in graduation course, by and large. I mean, by that time you would have developed certain faculties like capacity to do hard work would have been there, understanding would have developed, and how logically you are able to relate things. That is very important. You know, you understand, you take a subject, for example, take weather of India or climate of India. For example, take climate of India. Climate of India, it can be studied in isolation. India climate kaisa hai? What are winter months? What are summer months? What is the rainy season? That is one in isolation. But civil services will not ask you that. They will ask you to relate climate change with India's climate and its impact on India's economy. Now, three things have come. Climate change, you must know what is climate change. You must know what is India's climate, how this climate change is affecting India's climate, and how these are affecting India's economy. How would they affect India's economy? On this climate, our agriculture is dependent. So if you have good monsoon, you get good crop. If you do not have good monsoon, you get bad crop. So what happens? The price will increase. Also, the supplies will shorten. There will be crisis. Also, a lot of industries are dependent upon those agriculture produce, for example, cotton. So, cotton textile will suffer. Similarly, there are a lot of other things which are dependent, like employment, job, farmers' own income, rural prosperity, then your agriculture market, and the entire economy which runs with that. I'm just giving an example. So you should be able to correlate these things and then come out with an answer which you can make only in the exam hall. You will not get ready-made answers anywhere. So what I'm trying to emphasize here, that logical reasoning should be there. It should develop in you. And when you have a scientific temper, when you see cause and effect, when you see interrelationship of the things, then you develop this thing. I mean, it is nothing that which comes at a great cost or something. It comes when you see, I'll tell you simple things. I mean, this what, when, where, how, why. You start asking these questions on any subject, you will start getting the hints to this interrelationship of things. So is this, and then of course you must be very patient. You will fall, you will become unsuccessful, you will not get a call at some point of time. Should never bother you. Rise again, get up, start preparing again. I've seen people who have qualified in the last attempt and have come out with flying colors. So you never know when you will succeed. And let me tell you one thing, even if you do not succeed, God forbid you do not succeed, this knowledge will always come in handy. This practice will always come in handy. The information that you get, the faculties that you develop, the reasonings that you develop will come in handy. You go to any discipline, go to management, go to any other thing, it will always be helpful. And this capability of sustained hard work over a period of time will never go in vain. So let me assure you, even if people do not qualify civil services, they learn a lot of lessons for their own life, which comes in handy. And I have come across so many people who say कि हमने वो तैयारी कर लिया ना तो वो यहाँ काम आ रहा है, including political people who go to debates. वो बोलते हैं भाई वो जो तैयारी किया ना वो डिबेट में काम आ रहा है. So it's like this.
Well said, sir. So the next, we are close to 5, and I know that time is of essence for you.
आप कर लो कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
We'll take one question and we'll close, because there are many questions, sir. अगर देखने जाओ तो it's full of questions only. But we'll take one last question, sir. And I will maybe try and reach out to you and set up time again with you someday, sir. We have our faculty, and Vinita ma'am, and she's somebody who's very engaged, and always I've seen her ask questions in any of the sessions when the leaders come in, and I respect her for that. She's asking you a question, which is a little bit closer to your heart in today's time. Times are difficult today. So how do you manage with the limited resources at your hand, and how are you able to motivate your subordinates, as there are so many casualties happening, especially also in the police force?
It's a really difficult question. We had more than 700 infections in my own force, 6 casualties. But here what we do is to prioritize. Prioritize. I have as of today 42 infected people. Now out of them, 2 are needing oxygen. So I must first look after them, whether they are hospitalized, whether they are getting adequate facilities and support. So one is this prioritization is very important. Secondly, difficult time, very depressing time, but at the same time, if I keep sharing my thoughts, even my failures, my inabilities, then a lot of empathy develops in the team and we work together. I've seen, if I say कि यार मेरे से नहीं हो पा रहा है, I would see many constables. Yesterday, I'll give an example. A person who was known to me, he called me up, sir, मुझे O positive plasma चाहिए. Now I thought कि मैं क्या करूँगा? Then I realized कि a lot of my people have recovered. So we have got a group of officers. Now I put this. Okay, this is the message. A person requires this thing. A constable called me up. कि सर मुझे कोविड हुआ था, मेरा यही है. Then I gave his number to him and called up the other person कि भाई आप इनसे बात कर लो, इनसे मिल जाएगा आपको. So we have to keep doing this kind of exercise again and again. We have to, when you build a team, you need to share your thought, your dream, your even frustrations, your failures with them and say, look, यहाँ मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है. Somebody will chip in. Somebody will chip in. And I've seen when this remdesivir was not getting available, then I saw one of my officers, he somehow could manage it from the distributor himself. कि भाई मुझे 2 चाहिए. Somebody is on life and death thing. So that is how we build up actually. See, if I am always at this high pedestal, I will not be able to develop this team. I have to come down at their level and speak to them as human beings, fellow human beings who have their own plus qualities, who have their own strengths. And maybe somebody out of them will come out and solve your problem. So this I have found to be very helpful in this. And also when you share these things, a lot of frustration actually comes out. And you can even smile in misery. I mean, we have laughed at ourselves so many times. What kind of fool we are, अरे हम यहाँ ढूंढ रहे थे तो यहाँ था. So it's like this. You have to keep the mood lighter. There's no other way out.
So thank you very much, sir, for your time. May God bless you with health and happiness always. Sir, a parting shot. एक आपसे अगर एक और couplet हो जाए as a parting shot, that will be lovely, sir.
ठीक है. Let me see. I've got a book here only. So
Right,
let me just read out something of this. So I remember this thing. हम ना एक बार भी गिरते तो संभलते कैसे. हम ना एक बार भी गिरते तो संभलते कैसे. खुशगुमानी अपने बारे में जो आदमी को खुशफहमी रहती है उसको खुशगुमानी कहते हैं. हम ना एक बार भी गिरते तो संभलते कैसे. खुशगुमानी तेरी दलदल से निकलते कैसे. So this is something कि जितना धक्का जिंदगी में हमने खाया है, that has only helped me to remove all the impression that I had about myself कि I am such a big person and this and that. वो बराबर औकात में आ गया. तो ये खुशगुमानी तेरी दलदल से निकलते कैसे. It's like this. So sometime I will meet up and we'll have a session of poetry, है ना. Because poetry mood चाहिए and फिर वो continuity में आता है वो. So,
sir. We will definitely set that up. So thank you very much again on behalf of everybody at Lexicon Mile, our trustees, Chairman S.D. Sharma sir, our President and Managing Trustee Pankaj Sharma sir, Vice Chairman Executive Neeraj Sharma sir, and myself and the complete team. We thank you for your time and may God bless you and give you more power, more success and more happiness to make this a better world, sir. God bless.
Thank you. Shukriya. Thank you.